Hi everybody and welcome to the Little Bee Podcast. My name is Kirsty and I am coming to you from the west coast of Scotland. I'm not sure if you can tell from my accent or not because a lot of people, believe it or not, ask if I am from America. So yeah, I'm coming to you from the west coast of Scotland where I'm born and bred, so again, if the accent doesn't quite match, I don't know what's going on there. We are on episode 30, if you can believe it or not. I can't. I definitely can't believe it's episode 30. For a long time I did not think the podcast would get as far as it has. And I guess a lot of podcasters say that, but given the number of breaks I have taken and the lengthy absence on occasions due to health, it wasn't really looking like episode 30 was going to come around. So episode 30 is here and we are going to celebrate by having a giveaway. That's right guys, I am doing a giveaway. I don't have any prizes to show off right now. I will be posting a picture of them at the end of the clip. At the end of this episode. And basically what you need to do is you need to be a subscriber to the podcast on YouTube. And you need to follow the following prompt and leave a comment below the video. So my prompt to you is, what is your favourite thing about this time of year? So for people in Scotland and the UK it is winter, but people in Australia are looking at their summertime. So what is your favourite thing at this time of year for you? Mine is the lovely, chilly, crisp mornings where the sun is shining so bright and it's cold enough that you need your hand knits but not so cold that you don't want to go outside, and especially when it's such a lovely sunny day. We've had a couple of those in the last couple of weeks and unfortunately it's not like that today. It is horrendously overcast, no blue sky in sight. The wind has really picked up in the last 24 hours and it's been raining on and off all day. So we're definitely heading into winter. Thankfully where I live we don't really get much snow and I'm hoping it's going to stay that way because I'm not a big snow person. It's not fun for me. I normally always fall on my butt and that hurts and it's just awkward and slightly embarrassing. So in the comments section down below, please leave a message and a comment or whatever telling me what your favourite thing during this time of year is. Again, I am more than aware that not everyone is in winter, so that's why I'm leaving it as whatever season you're in, whatever your favourite thing about that time of year is. So leave that in the comments below and I'll post a picture at the end of this episode to let you see what prizes you could be in with winning. And with that, let's get started. I have finished objects, guys. I'm a little bit ashamed to admit that I decided to count up all my projects and it was not good. I was in double digits and I am ashamed to admit that I had 18 projects on the go. See photo for proof. Yeah, so 18 projects and none of them are Christmas knitting. None of them are particularly for anyone else. It's just things I wanted to knit, things that have been languishing on the needles for a lengthy amount of time. And I decided enough was enough. I needed to get the number down and I decided to pick up my finish along again that I had started in the Ravelry group. I'll leave all the links at the end to where you can find me. I'm just starting to kind of get in the swing of things now, so we'll do that all at the end. So first one first, I don't have on me to show, but I will insert a picture. I finished my Rose City Roller socks that I was making for my mum. She is more than delighted with them. I had the first one finished for a long time and I just didn't want to do the second one. I reckon I am a very selfish knitter and knitting for other people isn't always a joy for me, especially when the sizing can be the worst part about it and the part that can really kind of drag you down. So I decided to just get on with it, get them finished. And I did, like, I managed to rattle that second sock off really quickly. I went back to the first sock though, and I took out the toe and extended the foot just a little bit more, because my mum did say it was just a wee bit too snug. So I extended the foot just a wee bit longer and then put the toe back on, and everything is absolutely dandy now. She loves them, but I don't think she's actually worn them yet. So I don't know what that's about. Mum, seriously, get wearing your socks. And then the second finished object I've got is my beautiful mittens that Ellie of the Skein Knits podcast and designs has made. This is part of the Selbu Mitten Club. Now, I already have admitted that I am a few months behind. I think I am 2 months behind, and I have no intentions in taking part in the cow. I'm not one for cows and trying to win prizes, because that's a lot of pressure for me. I don't really like that aspect of it. I knit out of pleasure and enjoyment, not because I want to win something, which there's no problem with that if that's what people want to do. Sometimes that's an incentive that people need, but not me. I knit because I really enjoy it. So I have knit these. I'll put it on the other hand because I got my watch on. And then I remember I've got my ring on as well. I have to be so awkward. So yeah, really, really loving Ellie's patterns. They are delightful, and I never kind of thought myself a mitten person. I've always been a fingerless mitten person, but in recent years it has becoming a lot chillier in Scotland, and the bitterness on your fingers, especially first thing in the morning when you jump into your car and you touch your steering wheel and it's like a block of ice. So these would be absolutely perfect, but I reckon these are going to go into my stash of finished projects and possibly go as a gift, or I don't know, random act of kindness. So you can take the girl away from the fingerless mittens, but like the fingerless mittens always want to be worn. So as much as it's really cool touching my steering wheel, I think I'd rather get a steering wheel cover than convert myself to mittens, because then I can't like type or use my keys, or I'm rambling. So that was the second finished project that I got. And then my third one, which I am so excited about and I have been wearing to death ever since I got it finished, is my Entrelac shawl. Now, for any regular viewers, you will know that this project has been a long-standing project. This project has been on the needles for 4 or 5 years now, and each square, if you don't really understand Entrelac, so each square is knitted individually, and then you move on to the next one, and so on and so forth. I did make a modification to this pattern, I have to admit. I decided that I-cord binding was going to actually be the death of me, so I decided just to do a crochet chain, and I just done the US single crochet, and I done that all around the outside. I'm hoping that can focus because I can't see the screen. So I done a single crochet edging, and then I done just an extra row to make it a wee bit bolder. I have not blocked this shawl, and it is absolutely massive. Right, so we'll go from one end to the other. Still going. Still going. And we've reached the end. So it's a long shawl and I absolutely love it. It is made out of Nora wool, so there is a bit of scratchiness about the scarf, but given the fact I have recently started using a lot more like 100% pure wool, I'm actually getting used to the feeling of it. So I'm okay with it. It took a wee bit to get used to, especially around the neck, because I'm used to it mostly on my hands. So there was a slight adjustment period needed for it, but I love it. I wear it every day, and again, I haven't blocked it, but I reckon I might, because the edges do curl just a little bit, but I'm not too bothered about that. It was going to curl anyway, like, through use and stuff, blocking eventually you need to sometimes reblock things, and I'm assuming given the size of this scarf I would eventually have to reblock it anyway, so I'm not too fussed. I'm more proud than anything, like so proud that I got this finished. I was dancing around when I finally got that last chain off and I was like, it's done. Oh my god, like 4 or 5 years of my life in this one scarf. Like the amount of memories, good and bad, that I can remember when I was knitting this is ridiculous. But I guess that's what happens when we've got long-term projects. They become memories, and whether that's good memories or bad memories totally depends on the person and the situations, but I love it regardless, and I've got some pretty bad memories tied into this, so excuse me. So that's the finished objects out of the way. I have, as you realise from the start of this project, I have a number of whips on the go at the moment, but some of them I'm just not touching. I'm focusing more on particular, whoopsie, sorry, just dropping things. I am focusing more on particular projects and trying to get them finished and then moving on to the next thing, and if it's a project I particularly love then I really enjoy focusing on that project. So at the moment the project that is receiving the most love is my made up shawl that I am doing in Mothie and the Squid's speckled rainbow mini skein set that I bought from her at the trunk show that she done at the Yarn Cake in Glasgow. So it's a big shawl. It's quite a doozy now. Oh, I'm getting tangled up. There we go. So started out with just a couple of stitches, done some increasing and some technically some decreasing, and it's progressing. It's getting wider and wider and wider and wider, and that's it scrunched up on the needle. So it's quite a lot, and I only have one more skein to go. That's right guys, I am nearly on to the last skein. I only have that much of the ball I'm working on, and then I fade them in together, and then I'll work on this one, and then I will be done. So this is almost a finished object. Should be a finished object by my next podcast. So again, I'm really loving this project. But I also can't wait for it, can't wait to be finished with it as well. I knew what I was getting into because I knew the yardage of this mini skein pack, because there was 10 colours and it was, can't remember what the yardage is per mini skein, but there's 800 meters in the full pack combined. So I knew what I was getting into. I knew this was going to be a big project, but at the end of the day it is going to be fabulous when it's finished, and I don't know whether to keep this for myself or gift it. Now I know I said at the beginning I'm a very selfish knitter, but if I'm making something with somebody in mind, then I'm normally kind of like, ugh, I want to do something for me. And because for a long time I thought, oh, this is going to be for me, I've been knitting like crazy on it. But now I'm kind of like, I really like my Entrelac shawl, probably going to wear that more during winter, but you really cannot go wrong with a really beautiful Mothie and the Squid that is merino and nylon. So it's a 75-25% yarn, and I mean those speckles, guys, come on, who wouldn't love this as a scarf? So I'm still to decide whether I'm going to keep it or whether I'm going to gift it, or if I'll sell it. No harm in selling what you make. So let's try and get this back in the bag without making too much of a mess, which is in my amazing bag that my friend Charlotte made me. I love this bag. Put little bees on it. B for little bee. And then another project I've been working on, but not too much, was actually a test knit. Now I completely apologise to Michael that I did not get this done in the time scale stipulated for the test knit, but that is purely because my physiotherapist banned me from knitting for 6 weeks. So what are you gonna do? If the physiotherapist says don't knit, you kinda knit on slightly lighter projects. Don't tell the physio I said that. So this is a test knit for it's like a hooded cowl. I'm not really sure. I don't think the name's on the pattern. Oh no, it's called Ranger. So the pattern's Ranger, and I'll insert a picture and the information about it because Michael has listed it on Ravelry. So this is what I have so far. I'm just trying to get it the right way up and not tangled with yarn. So this is what I have just now. So for anyone that's kind of like, is that cables I see? Is Kirsty doing cables? After her continuous fighting saying that she hates them, yes, I am doing cables. I don't know how well this is coming up because it is quite a dark yarn and it's quite overcast outside and I am working with natural lighting. Let's see if this will help. Yeah, I think that will help. Yeah, there's just one big cable up and down, and then this bit extends out and this is going to become the hood, and it's going to be awesome, but it's already pretty big, so I don't know how much bigger it needs to be. This is going to look really stupid, I know, so I don't know. I'm still working on it though, even though I've failed the test knit, because I really like it, but sorry, I heard something. But because it is a cable, I'm kind of like, I don't wanna. It's a cable. It sucks. I am hearing something. I think my mum's back from the vet with socks. 2 seconds. Ooh. I'm back. So that was my mum back from the vet with my big guy Socksy. He got a wee bit of a sore on his paw a few weeks back. And if for any other cat owners out there, you know there can be a wee bit awkward when it comes to a sore and when they try and clean it. So unfortunately he was getting to it with his tongue and it just made it 10 times worse, and we had to be really, really strict with him, which was not fun. But now it's looking so much better. The vet is so much happy, like so much happy. The vet is so happy with him and we don't need to go back for another 2 weeks. So thumbs up. Yeah, so I was talking about the Ranger cowl hooded scarf doodah. I will post a picture of what it's meant to look like, and I will leave a comment to say where you can find it on Ravelry. So that is that one. And then the third one that's got quite a lot of love in the last, I'd say, week. For anyone that kind of was on my Instagram yesterday, I'm getting a wee bit tired with this, I'm not gonna lie. It just turns out I'm really not clinkle clank making so much noise. I'm really not a big fan of fingering weight jumpers. I'm just gonna put that right out there. They take so long to do. But I managed to get 2 inches on the body yesterday, and I got 1 inch on the body a few days before that. So this is my Sunset Highway pullover. I still love it. I just want it finished, to be honest. I really just want to be able to wear it and enjoy it and not be going round and round and round and round and round on alpaca, which can be really sweaty on your hands, make your hands really, really warm. And from now on I think I'm going to aim at like double knitting jumpers and sweaters and stuff like that. But you never know. I've bought some yarn recently that I think would make an absolutely amazing jumper or pullover, and it's all foreplay. So I'm literally a sucker for punishment. What can I say? I'm just gonna get comfy, or just gonna try and get comfy. There, comfy. I'm probably gonna edit that out. And lastly, but by no means least, my sleeve for my uber chunky. That's not really what the yarn is, it's like mega chunky. But I'm gonna call it uber chunky because it just sounds better. So my uber chunky sweater that I've been working on, it's got a wee bit of like a lace paneling. Go back an episode if you want to see it. So yep, this is the first sleeve. Shouldn't take too much longer to do. They are, it's such thick yarn, it's flying off my needles, so loving. And that's all the works in progress. Like I say, I have obviously quite a few other projects that need to be completed. I am trying so hard not to cast on, but I'm in two minds. I feel like I'm being super restrictive and punishing myself for being so creative and wanting to make such beautiful things, and that's really kind of bumming me down because I want to cast on new things. I want to have a pair of plain vanilla socks on the go. I want to make winter hats because, you know, with hardly any hair your head is going to get cold. So I'm in two minds. Part of me wants to kind of get everything done and start afresh, but the other part of me is just like, well, why am I punishing myself and not casting things on? So I'm in two minds, like seriously two minds. But hey ho. But I also keep buying new yarn that makes me be like, you need to cast this on. So some most recent purchases. Oh, I forgot a whip. Back to whips. God, this is all over the place. So I don't know if I showed this on the last podcast, and then I was on that break for so long I don't think anyone's actually seen this. I started brioche. Not lying here, guys, not lying at all. I started brioche. So the colour on this side is my hand spun. I don't know how well this is coming up. And then the colour on this side, the blue, is my hand dyed, which has a sparkle through it, and I love it. I love this colour so much. And it's going to be you can pull the pattern out. This is going to be the Fingering Brioche Bandana Cowl, and I cannot wait for it to be finished. It's so squishy. And me and brioche, we have a love-hate relationship, but I reckon people that do brioche have a love-hate relationship in general. And because I keep picking it up and putting it down, I tend to forget how to do the stitches. That and my fixed Knit Pro Zings have the worst join on them ever, and my yarn keeps catching. So I really need to find, oh no, 3.25s. I don't know if I said 4mm or 3.25. I really need to find better 3.25 fixed circulars, or not even fixed circulars, but just better 3.25 circulars, because it does get annoying when you have to kind of force the yarn to slide up onto the needle. So yeah, that's my down point to this project. Not the brioche and having to try and remember all the brioche knit and the brioche purl. It's purely the needles. The needles make the project, I reckon. Needles and the yarn make your project, and I'm not happy with these needles one bit. Now, I love Knit Pro Zings. Don't get me wrong, I love my Knit Pro Zings, but I don't like the fixed circulars. The join is absolutely horrendous. So bad. But yeah, brioche. It's such a fake smile, I'm sorry. I'm absolutely loaded with a cold for anyone that can't tell or hasn't noticed, so I apologise for the sniffles. So now we're back away from the whips, and now we're on to stash enhancement, I guess that's what we're going to call it. I have more stash enhancement, but I've hidden it away because I felt really guilty for how much I bought, and then I was just like, but it makes me happy, so I don't feel guilty. But I can't be bothered getting out the digging under my bed to get it out. So Amy of Stranded Dye Works, Amy Florence on Instagram, Amy Florence on YouTube for the Stranded Dye Works podcast, had a birthday update last weekend or the weekend before, and I am so lucky to have nabbed a few of her goodies, because apparently she updated by like 500 skeins of yarn, and apparently it was all sold out within half an hour, which is amazing for her and absolutely shocking at the same time, because I was like, whoa, that's 500 skeins, like how did that go so quickly? But I was really lucky that within that half hour I managed to get my hands on 3 sock blanks. So I managed to get my hands on Flamingo Legs, which is one I've wanted for ages. I also then managed to get Pinata. Here we go. And I picked one up from my mom because I'm good like that. And I got her paint box number 96. She already knows she's got it, but I'm saving it for her Christmas. So I was going to give her it, and then she's like, would you not rather hold that until off till my Christmas? And I'm like, because I don't have you a present yet. Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, 3 of Amy's beautiful hand dyed. I'm so happy. I had actually bought from Amy 2 or 3 weeks prior to her birthday update, and I got some of her drift colorways, and I got some other skeins as well. They're currently tucked away in a box and I really can't be bothered trying to dig them out. And then something made me go on to her, let me see if I can get the wording of this right. So her friend owns a yarn shop, and her friend wanted a personalised base, like a specific base that was only available in this knitting shop, not on Amy's website. And something just made me go on to the web page for this yarn shop, not thinking that she would have listed any of Amy's yarns, and lo and behold, to my absolute pleasure, she had. And I managed to get my hands on the skein that I've been dying to get my paws on, and that is the Naive Watercolour, or Naive Waterfall, sorry. And I got 2 skeins of that, and I ordered 2 skeins of another colour, but they're not here yet, so I'm still waiting on those goodies arriving. And then some other stash enhancement, I got the new issue of Pom Pom. I am totally a Pom Pom convert, basically. I remember going to the Pom Pom stall at Edinburgh Yarn Festival 2016, and they said the price to me, and I was like, no way, that's a lot of money for a magazine. And I passed, and I just never really thought of it again until I started watching podcasts, and the likes of Vero and Nessa they always had such high praises for Pom Pom, and I thought, do you know what? Whilst I had that wee bit of extra money from savings, why don't I just get a three words? I can't function. 3 copies? 3/4, no, I don't know what the word is. So I'm at 3 subscriptions. Is that the right word? I managed to get 3 copies. So I got the big birthday edition, and then, which would be words, oh my god. Issue. That's the word I'm looking for. Issue. So I got issue 21, 22 and 23. This is issue 23. I will need to oh dear lord. I promise people I can actually have a conversation. I will need to update my subscription and put in for the next lot, because after this one I don't get any more. Sad. So I will need to order some more, but I need to wait until payday because I am scared. But yeah, Total Pomper. I nearly said Pom Bears, as in like the crisps you get in the UK. Total Pom Pom Quarterly convert. Love it, love it, love it. Basically, no other magazine can match up to this. Like magazines that you can get at like your supermarkets. And I just love the feel of it. The photography is brilliant. The layout is fantastic. Even the articles that aren't about patterns are awesome. So if you haven't, I would suggest giving it a go. And then my last acquisition is a biggie. I decided to treat myself to my third yarn advent calendar. That's correct, my third advent calendar. I have got the advent calendar from Vicky Brown on Etsy, and I have the Opal Christmas advent calendar, which I showed off in one of my episodes. I don't have the one from Vicky just yet. That's not getting shipped out till the end of this month. And then We County Yarns decided that they were going to do one for the wee mini balls that they do with the 100% pure wool, and I got it. I haven't opened it up yet because I'd just be so tempted to open up all the individual little boxes. So my mum came in and was like, oh, have you looked inside? I'm like, no, I'm gonna peek. Yeah, all wee individual little boxes, which is so cool. So bring on the 1st of November, what? Bring on the 1st of December, because I will be opening 3 lots of yarn every day. So happy. It's so bad for my spending, but hey ho. So that's all the whips, faux, and stash enhancement, acquisitions, whatever you want to call them, out the way. Now just on to a wee bit of administration stuff. Nothing too serious. Nothing serious at all, actually. I've been watching and binge watching a lot of things on YouTube and Netflix. So I binge watched Stranger Things. I then binge watched the first season of American Horror Story. Yes, I do realise I'm very late to that game, but I'm a wuss and I thought it was going to be really, really scary, and the suspense was making me really anxious, so I decided to turn it off, and like a year and a half later I've finally gone back to it. So yeah, got the first season of American Horror Story done and dusted. I've binge watched both seasons of Stranger Things and I am in love with that show. I've been catching up on a lot of podcasts actually, and I've been finding a whole bunch of new ones. And they're probably not new ones to a lot of people, but for a long time I was just sticking with my favourites, and now I've decided to kind of like branch out. So I've recently discovered Stress Knits. Excuse me. Let's see. Oh, it always kind of confuses me when it does it this way. Chrissy of Relatively Crafty, if you haven't seen her. Maria of Ninja Chickens. Sorry, I'm just looking through my list. Relatively Crafty. Right, so I do Amy Edwards Green, Knitting Expat, Relatively Crafty, The Anxious Knitter, hi Joy, Skein Deer Knits, Celtic Craft, hi Nessa, Knitlib, Junk Yarn, Casey Maura, Caffeinated Crafts, Crafting, John Glenn, Pixel Atlantis, hi Rosie, oh, Just One N, love that one, you should watch that one. I'm only just found the Dyer's Notebook, which is ridiculous. Who else? Wojo Podcasts. Oh, I could go on and on and on. I didn't realise how long my subscription list actually was. So yeah, I've been catching up on a lot of podcasts. So if anyone has any podcast recommendations, please let me know. I would absolutely love to find new ones. And just a few more updates and then you guys are free to go. I feel like I've kind of held you long enough. I am attending the Perth Festival of Yarn winter event, which is the Winter is Coming Knit Faster event this Sunday. So today is Friday the 10th of November, and on the 12th, which is the Sunday, I will be in Perth with my sewing bags and my yarn. It's a small event run by Eva. It's going to be awesome. I hope to see you all there. If you're not going to be there, let me know. Whatever I don't sell we will be going back in my shop for anyone that's interested. And then above and beyond that, I have actually decided to go to Edinburgh Festival of Yarn this year. This was a biggie for me because I already have enough stash. Like, guys, you should see how much yarn I have. So I wasn't gonna go, even though there's the podcast lounge, but I've decided so many people are going that I want to meet. Amy recently announced that she was coming up, which is Amy of Stranded Dye Works. Maria of Ninja Chickens is coming, and oh my god, I just want to give her a big hug. Oh, just so many guys are going. I really enjoyed the event in 2016, but it was so busy. But now that they've made it a 3-day event, I reckon it might be a lot calmer. I'm hoping it will be. And then even if it does get too overwhelming for me, I'll just nip back to the podcast lounge. But I will be taking limited funds. I said that last time I went and I blew that out of the water. So I'll be going with limited funds. I will be leaving my credit card at home. I will be withdrawing money and leaving my debit card at home. And I hope that, well, I don't hope it's going to be a great event. I know it's going to be a great event. So yeah, I decided to go to that. Looking at actually getting a hotel to stay, because as much as I live at the opposite side, like I'm on the west coast, further past Glasgow and closer to the coast, and Edinburgh is on the east coast, so we're literally kind of like in a straight line, but it's like 2 hours commuting, and the trains can be quite expensive, and then you've got rush hour traffic on top of that. And I was just like, it would just be so much easier if I just got like 1 overnight hotel stay or 2 overnight hotel stays and go for like the full event. So I'm yet to decide what I'm going to do, because I'm certainly not going to drive through, because I wouldn't know where to park in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is not my place. I'm a Glasgow girl, but I do like Edinburgh on the rare occasion. So I'm looking at a hotel stay, and I'd probably still get the train through because buses make me sick. Total honesty there, guys. But yeah, I think that's me. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone that's kind of stuck by the podcast. I know things got a bit gloomy on my last podcast, but that was just where my mental state was, and I want to be very open about mental health because I think it's a very serious thing. People are so dismissive of it, and that can really make someone worse when they're in a not great place. So thank you also for your kind comments for the last podcast, and your kind messages and your support. But from here on out, we're going to try and be more upbeat, more happy, and I am just loving the fact it's winter, so all good. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up here. Remember, there's a giveaway going on. I will insert a picture of what you can win and leave your comment below to enter, which is, again, the prompt is, what is your favourite thing about this time of year? So again, mine is the very crisp, chilly mornings where the sun is shining so bright, you get wrapped up in all your hand knits, and it's not cold enough that you want to stay indoors, but it's not warm enough where you're going to sweat with all your hand knits on, and the sun's out and it's shining and it's just a beautiful day. So that is my favourite thing about this time of year. That and the colour of the trees turning. Who doesn't love when the trees start going orange and red, and then the leaves fall off and you get to stamp in all the crispy leaves. Okay, I'll stop. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have an amazing weekend and you have a great week, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.